education systems, especially in higher education, I believe that the traditional curriculum and the focus is on pedagogy, right? And it's one of the fundamental things one needs to understand is that we are dealing with adults, right? These adults are internally motivated and self-directed. So they are responsible adult learners as opposed to the children, right? So pedagogy works in the K-12 segment. It does not work in the higher education. Unfortunately, nobody talks about this. So there are 6 reasons why it can't work, right? So first is the students are internally motivated. Second is that they have personal interests and they bring that into the classroom, right? And then they facilitates reflective learning on their behalf. Adults are goal oriented and they're not grade oriented, right? So they want to understand the need for soft skills, hard skills, and deep knowledge. So how do you provide examples that can excite them during the classroom? They are also relevance oriented. So they want to see the significance, why we are learning, what we are learning, how does it apply to us in the real world? Uh, Adults are practical. Nobody talks about this. They won't understand that we have to fail. And it's just not all about just, winning. It's just to instill that greater confidence and competence levels. And finally, they teach you as equals, right? Even though we could be faculty. So we bring our life experiences into the classroom. They bring their life experiences, and it's no longer sage on stage. It's more like guide on your side. So that's one of the fundamental areas. The other area is minimal global exposure, right? It's very, very clear that, the little global exposure that students get is what is called a trip for a week to one city or a country. And I call that global terror tourism, right? So you're not sitting in that country, you're not learning, you're not giving assessments, you're not, meeting with your peers, living with them. And so that's what I think is very, very critical and missing. I also see that, global best practices like Harvard Business Referencing, nobody follows in India. Bloom's taxonomy is just given lip service. So how do we make sure that our assessment follows the latest version of Bloom's taxonomy, right? And then from an industry academic divergence, we've heard this for over a decade, right? In areas like research, sponsored research, what academia is doing is not at all relevant to industry. Case studies they're writing are they relevant to the Indian system and the Indian challenges? The learning outcomes are not what the industry is happy about. And then more importantly, skills, right? They're hiring for skills. Are the Indian education system providing highly skilled, not only on a technical side, but also on the soft skill side? And overall academic impact. So I think these are the gaps. Of course, during the pandemic, Zoom was a lifesaver. We were able to manage in a synchronous fashion with students and make it happen, right? So I think technology definitely helped us reach out to our students, which were all around the country and all around the world. I think the other area is the ERP systems. So we have our own ERP system, which you can communicate with everybody, all standard, all cases, all lesson plans, everything is uploaded, attendance, assessments, report cards, connectivity with the various, it's like a mini Facebook. So you have various chat rooms where you can discuss on topics on particular subjects. You have the club activities which are happening through that. So that was a huge thing. This app really helped, students know what is due when and how they can track their progress. And parents also could get access to it. And I think technology has played a great role in the lifelong learning space with edX, Coursera. They are giving opportunities for students and professionals to learn throughout their life stage. Because it's clear, earlier we used to think, we have 20 years of learning and 40 years of potentially using that learnings. Now it's no longer. We're going to live up to 80. And so it's actually, you need to keep learning to be in sync with the world. The globe is getting smaller, the world is getting smaller, and technology is uniting us, right? With the world opening up post-COVID, I think, the global MBA is something which will allow students the opportunity to learn a global curriculum, right? With all the standard global, assessments, which are world class. Um, and what's the difference between a regular and a global MBA? For me, very simply, the regular MBA looks at the conventional curriculum, which has been going on for ages. It's conservative theory-based teaching methodology and a domestic scenario. On the other hand, the global education can be put in four categories, right? And this is what we tell our students. You can study in different locations internationally. You have an opportunity to study with an international cohort of students. You have the international curriculum and andragogy, which you will focus through experiential learning. And you will have faculty from all over the world, which will have an opportunity to learn from you. And in India, there are very few institutes which bring all of that together, right? With a global alumni network, imagine having 80,000 students in 140 plus countries in your neighborhood. So at UBS, we give an opportunity for our students to work and study for 24 months in the United States. So they can go with one or two of our partners. One is Northeastern Illinois University, with 150 years pedigree. It's AACSB accredited, so they can study in Chicago for 2 years and work there as well through the OPT program. The same opportunity we give in San Francisco through Lincoln University, another 100-year-old university. If students want to study in Europe, they can work and study in Europe for 12 months through our partnership with Swiss School of Management in Italy and INSEC Business School in Paris, which is AMBA accredited. So here they have an opportunity to work and study in France. If they want a smaller option, they have an opportunity to study in Europe for 1 to 2 months with two of our partners. One is Cardiff Met University, which is again another 150-year-old university and QAA accredited. So here they can study for up to a month in Cardiff. Or they can go to study in University of Economics, another 100-year-old university in Varna, where they have an opportunity to study for 3 months. They also get multiple specializations, which you don't get in India, like luxury brand management, artificial intelligence, machine learning, business analytics, fashion marketing design, investment banking, and valuation, and more on. I can keep going on. So this is a huge opportunity. And most important thing about a global MBA degree is that you get a dual passport. A PGDM is highly recognized in India, but a global degree opens the gate to the world, right? Which is recognized abroad. So why shouldn't you, if you can get an opportunity to get a PGDM and a global MBA, why wouldn't you take that, right? So that's what I would call the advantages. I'll give you some of the examples from Universal Business School. We realized that, yes, we are in front of our students through the virtual platforms like Zoom and several others. But what about the peer-to-peer learning? So we created a virtual lounge, which would allow our students to actually get together, hang out, chill, do music, do dance performances without any faculty, and have that coffee, talk, which you would typically have near the cafeteria or the all-night cafe on campus, take that virtual. The other big advantage of technology was that we could now get Ivy League professors from all over the world to come and participate and teach our students, which is sometimes very difficult or very expensive. Tons of online competitions where they can showcase their skills, they can evaluate outcomes. We even did a virtual case blazer on Harvard Business Review where they could actually present their cases. They had access to, of course, the VESCO and HBR libraries, lots of simulations. We did warehouse simulations, operations research simulations. And finally, we actually used artificial intelligence infused proctoring to have a secure browser to make sure we can remotely proctor the students with a lot of features to avoid cheating and including helping on online assessment. So online classes and e-learning, they've been a lifesaver, as I said before. But however, students have a lot of fatigue, which has crept in. And when students were back on campus, they were ecstatic, right? Remember, 50% of education is outside the classroom. Now, with experiential learning, it's near impossible to achieve that, barring probably case studies, to do it online. So the world is moving to hybrid learning. quite a lot of theory will go online, and it should, right? Universities will partner with Coursera, edX to co-create content in a bite-sized fashion, which can be consumed at any point of time in an adaptive nature. So every student will have a different path. But the classrooms will come alive with experiential learning, right? Case studies were past phenomenon, they are dead. Action learning, what we call immersive learning, experiential learning is here to stay. But the future is AI, right? Technology infused with virtual reality and mixed reality. And it's already started happening in a little bit.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.